Everybody, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Young Buck Refrigeration. Welcome to Young Buck Refrigeration. If y'all tuned in, I hope y'all consider subscribing, like the video, share it to your friends, family, or whoever. On today, man, we're gonna do a different type of video. Of course, I had stopped making videos and all that back in August and all that. I got pictures and all that I could talk about. It's just like getting any other pictures from the internet and all that. So I could add a little commentary and all that on there, so we can at least get, the close enough videos that we used to have on the channel and stuff. Now, I did make a video at this one particular place before a year or so ago. And if y'all don't remember, I had a refrigeration leak and the 90-degree elbow had cracked. Now, what I had did, I just brazed it up. A lot of people was like, hey, you should have replaced that whole section. And I was like, yeah, it would have been fine and stuff. And I didn't think twice about it. But anyway, had a call back, had a tech that came back out and he fixed it. He replaced that little ill. But guess what? I recently came, which is probably like a month or so ago, and the thing was cracked. That the 90-degree ill was cracked, and I'm gonna show y'all in a bit. So y'all stay tuned with me through this video and all that. So like I said, this ain't like no video, but we got pictures and stuff where I can put my commentary and stuff over the pictures and all that, and give y'all some of the good details, and I can help y'all out if you like new or anything. Me, I'm still a tech that's still learning and stuff. Day by day and all that. So trying to get better day by day and try to grasp it day by day and all that. All right, so this is the beer cooler right here. As y'all can see, we got two evaporators. This one particular cooler right here have a Trenton set up. It does have an A19 over here, which controls the room T-stat. Once the room get to a certain temperature and all that, the liquid line solenoid will close, which is above the cooler, and it will pump down the system, and the fans will just run. And once the temperature, bump up and stuff, that swing and all that, the cylinder will open back up, the unit will start, and the refrigeration process will begin and all that. We got two evaporators. So this one particular day, apparently the beer cooler had high temperature, and they said it had ice on the evaporator coils and all that. Now, anytime you see a ice on evaporator coils, it could be numerous issues, so many. Like, it could be like a whole list. And the thing about it, you got to do like a process of elimination. And even if you think you got it, after doing like a process of elimination, it's always something still causing something. So you try to get everything while you can and all that. So high temperature, both evaporated coils iced up. Now, when you hear a coil iced up and all that, you either think of a defrost issue, a refrigeration issue, or maybe a drain pan issue where, say, these drain lines right here was clogged, which they can get clogged over time and stuff, and water could just sit at the bottom, and believe it or not, over time and stuff, it could accumulate ice from the bottom side and up. It's just depending on the ice pattern and all that, when it comes to ice buildup and all that. But this one particular issue had a defrost issue, and mind you, we had a refrigeration issue also. So usually when you have a refrigeration issue, you either low on Freon, maybe TXV valve, running too wide open possibly, which could indicating too much liquid in the coil and all that. What else on the refrigeration side? Maybe the T-stat is not closing that solenoid and it's constantly running. It's constantly leaving that solenoid open. Even if that solenoid valve or anything, that they might be stuck where it's not closing like it's supposed to. It might be sticking. It could be so many numerous things on the refrigeration side. And I thought about the TSV. I thought about if the coil is freezing up. I'm gonna just keep it simple. Just check it. You need to check your superheat. I'm talking about could potentially freeze if you don't have enough. Well, if you add too much Freon to the coil, but overall, just check the superheat and all that. I have to go back on that one particular thing. And also defrost issue. Defrost. Defrost heaters might not be working. This setup right here had defrost heaters. Usually medium temp applications and all that normally just have the fans that de-ice the coil and all that. Some coolers might come with heaters, some don't. I guess depending how cold you want that area, or depending on the type of brand and stuff. But both of these coils right here had heaters. So your heaters might not be pulling amperage. If they ain't pulling amperage, you might not be getting the proper voltage to the heaters. Maybe it's broken somewhere. Possibly you got a heater that's burnt out. You might have a section of the heaters working, but the other half ain't working. If y'all don't know, I had made a video for a walk-in freezer like a year or so ago. Been months though, but I had a freezer where it kept icing up. The freezer just kept icing up the backside of the coil, and I was like, bro, I gotta look at this Come to find out, we had 2 heaters. I think it had 4 heaters across, but 1 and 2, the top and bottom, they wasn't working. But you could see where the ice was accumulating and all that. But it was, the heaters was burnt out and stuff. I'm pretty sure somebody went back and took care of that issue and all that. But yeah, just give y'all some context. Y'all stay with me. So normally if you come to a cooler where you're having high temperature, ice on the coil, it's either a refrigeration issue, defrost issue, or possibly, defrost or refrigeration. Just keep it simple like that. Either or, and in that category and stuff, you just try to break it down and stuff. But yeah. So anyway, this is a high limit switch. Come to find out, this bad boy right here was bad. So what I end up doing temporarily, I end up bypassing this thing so we could get the heaters going and stuff. Once I bypassed this, the heater started going. Everything was working fine. So we got the defrost side checked okay. And then this right here is that fan switch. You got a red, brown, and black wire that also senses the coil temperature to the side of this panel right here. This right here is like a backup with this yellow and white. It's like a backup. But I believe if this sees over 80 degrees, it kick off, maybe 60, maybe 70, somewhere in that range. But yeah, so I had got the heaters working, you know, and next thing I had to do, I had to fix the leak. So it had crack right here, y'all. It had crack right here. So like I said, I had a coworker that went behind me. Mind y'all, I just brazed for the first time, and then a coworker, he came behind me, called back, which callbacks ain't no good, especially when you try to put all your effort into that call and then you get a call back for it. That just be the suckiest thing, I tell you that. But anyway, I just brazed mine, and a lot of people say you shouldn't have done that, which I learned, and now I know just to replace the section if I have that material in my van or whatever. But anyway, he replaced this, and I came back, and I just took this whole piece out, which is a 90-degree ill. You got a coupling in on this side, and it's just street ill. Just go in there, and I just cut from here. I cut this section out right there. That's all I did. It was leaking right here, and what caused this was the vibration over time and stuff. Believe it or not, with refrigeration systems, vibration clamps are very important and stuff. Very, very important. They eliminate the vibration because the racks and all that, they love to vibrate. Especially if a compressor fisting and stuff, if it go out and stuff, that rack started vibrating and stuff like crazy. And it's very important to have vibration clamps. There's so many vibration clamps I came across that's worn and stuff, and it's just due to age and stuff over time and all that in the heat. Maybe if it's on the discharge line. I know when the discharge line, the band clamps go out so quick because it's heated so much and all that. Then the vibration on top of that, like it's just taking it out so quick. But you could get the blue vibration clamps, which is better, but I normally always see the black vibration clamps used. But yeah, and if you don't have the vibration clamps change, where you got that I guess it's like a metal or brass coupler, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about, where you put the nut. It got that the stud, and you just put the nut on that little piece. If you let that thing rub on the copper line, it's going to be a nightmare. Rather in a early morning, mid afternoon, late afternoon, late night, it could just go any second, depending on how long it happened to. So if you're in a refrigeration trade and all that, try to check your vibration clamps. You might not get every one, but anything that you see, try to get it and stuff. And yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go back because I don't think I have any photos that way. So mind y'all, this cooler had iced over. We had a defrost issue where the heaters wasn't working. We had that heat limit that was bad. I replaced that. I just bypassed it. How I quickly diagnosed that, I just unhooked the wires, just put a wire just to see which coil had a bad heat limit switch. And yeah, once I seen that, sent the voltage straight out to that unit and stuff like it's supposed to, I was like, oh yeah, we good. And we had other issues and stuff, which I'm probably gonna get into. So that's what I ended up figuring out at first, and then I had to go back because they called back saying that the cooler was down, and kind of find out the breaker had tripped and all that, which was a pain. But what happened? How the thing was wired? It's so weird because everything was working fine when I had just bypassed that heat limit switch on this coil right here. Everything was running fine and flawless and stuff. But come back, everything like tripped out and stuff. I had fuses blown. And I was trying to see what in the world is causing this fuse to blow. So I was trying to check on the control side. I checked the contactor. That wasn't it. I eliminated the crankcase heater. That wasn't it. And then I had seen where they had all the wires on the auxiliary contactor, which was on normally closed, I believe. So we had one wire from the crankcase one from the time clock, one from a contactor, and then one from one of these boards right here, which it was tied to everything else. So I was having something happening between that voltage where just the fuse just automatically was blowing that fuse and stuff. So what I end up doing, I end up separating the wires on the auxiliary contactor. Now, auxiliary contactor is located on the side of the contactor. I wish I had a picture. I think I do, but the crankcase heater wire and then the wire from the board, which had went to like the low pressure switches and all the other stuff. I had those wired up on normally open, I believe, and then the normally closed. I had the wire from the heaters, the contactor. I had that wire there, and then one from the time clock on normally open, I believe, or normally closed, whatever. Anyway, I just separated the wires. I ain't had no fuse blowing, but that's just how it was wired up. And I looked at another unit onto where everything else is wired up how I had wired it and all that. I used other units as a reference and stuff, so I don't know how that wiring and all that got jumbled up and all that. Anyway, as y'all can see, we do got 0 ppm. I did replace this whole section right here. As you can see, we got 0 ppm. So as y'all can see, I did add some Kindorf right here. There was about like 2-inch pieces, and I added, I think that's a 1/2-inch line, maybe, I forgot, but one vibration clamp there, one vibration clamp there. Mind you, none of this was in here. This was just a straight discharge line running to the compressor. And like I said, overtime and stuff, vibration and stuff. And y'all giving me information about these Trenton units are known to have the cracking and stuff. But anyway, we added some vibration clamps to help eliminate that vibration and help keep that line nice and sturdy. Now, as y'all can see, this is the section right here. As y'all can see. And I pumped down this system real good and stuff. I did it really good. If y'all remember last video, I was pumping it down, but I still had pressure on this side. I think I had this opened up still. But anyway, I was like, man, why where I'm still getting pressure on there? And it felt like I wasn't getting like a good braze, but I finally did it. But yeah, I had made sure I had no pressure. Sometimes on refrigeration systems and stuff, when you try to pump down something and you try to repair a discharge line, some stuff do not hold. So sometimes what you have to do is get like a vacuum pump in order to exhale that vapor out. And I had to do that before with the tech. One time we had to change a suction line out because nothing wasn't closing properly. As you can see, oh yes, I have. As you can see, this is the band clamp right here. And this is the thing right here I was talking about that you don't want rubbing on the copper line and stuff. And I had this other one right here. This is that fan termination switch right here. I just had that. That's the extra one I had for my van. I thought one of those I had. Did I change that? No, I didn't change that part. I just had it. I was just doing like a process of elimination. I thought I needed that part, but I didn't. As y'all can see, so I added a new street eel right here. Then I added a copper section right here. And I added a coupling. So I welded right here, 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 and there. So we had 1, 2, 3. We have 4 braze points. What else? And when you do braze, especially if you got this high pressure switch right here, make sure you put like a rag and all that in that area so you can keep that thing cool. This is how it looked. This is the Kindorf and all that. I lined everything up. And how I kept everything in place, I just used some self-tap 5/16 screws and screwed it down that sucker. Like I said, none of this stuff was here. Like I said before, I made a braze. Somebody came back, just replaced this eel. I wonder if they replaced the whole set. No, I think they just replaced the eel. And then I just came and just replaced this section right here. And then just added the Kindorf and all. As you can see. And then when you do cut copper and all that, this is where that copper is going to seat at. So you got like a long piece of copper right here. You want to make sure you get it like straight across here and then straight across there. As y'all can see. You see the Kindorf. I cut the pieces. I used a saw, a band saw. Cut my little pieces and did it. Sanded it down really good. So this was a leak before. It was getting about 124 ppm, close to 500 ppm. And how I found that out, the sight glass was flashing. That's a telltale sign if you got something going on with your refrigeration system. So if you came across where the coil iced over and your sight glass flashing, make sure you get the ice off first. Then you'll allow the thing to run in refrigeration. If your thing's still low on gas, then that's a telltale sign like you had a freon issue. And like I said, check the defrost also. Alright guys, so stay tuned for more videos like this where I will be explaining pictures and all that. Like I said, I can't have like the actual videos and stuff. I mean, I am on the clock obviously and all that. But y'all been missing the videos. I've been making the videos, I'm not gonna lie. Actually been pretty fun and stuff. It was a learning experience for me and guys like y'all who found this trade interesting, who want to see how the refrigeration side is like and all that. But overall, it's not a bad trade or anything. It's not easy at all. If it was easy, a lot of people have been doing it. Um, you will have hard days, easy days. You will have headaches on top of headaches on top of headaches and all that, y'all. Um, and before I close it out, I did forget to mention about this one particular call. I did replace the time clock on here too. So like I said, the first time I came, the coil was iced over and all that. We had a defrost issue. I found the bad high limit switch, had that bypassed. Got the coil de-iced and all that. Fixed the refrigeration issue, which we had that leak on that line. We got that repaired. Cooler and all that was running fine. I checked operations, defrost and all that. Well, the contactor was pulling in for defrost. Everything was like running fine and stuff. And then I get the call back. I get to the store. They have high temperature. I found the unit off. Breakers and all that completely tripped. I had separated the wires that went to crankcase, time clock, and then one wire from the contactor for the heaters and stuff. And mind you, I found the wires like that. I don't know how it got like that, but that's how I found it. And I was surprised that it was working and all that before. But anyway, for some odd reason, the time clock, the little motor that pushed down the lever and stuff, unfortunately, the thing had like exploded. Like it had got so hot and stuff. But after separating all the wires and stuff, I didn't have no issue. Didn't have nothing blowing immediately. Because when I changed the fuses, everything was like blowing immediately, just as quick. Even after isolating things, everything was just immediately blowing. And like I said, I used the other units as a reference after I separated the wires and stuff like I'm supposed to. Having one wire on normally closed, one wire on the other side normally closed, one wire on the normally open, one other wire on normally open and stuff. And if you have them wires together, it just create a big effect and all that. Some of those ties, it's really the control voltage side for your heaters. Everything else tie in like your low pressure switches and all that. But anyway, got it sorted. That was pretty interesting. And I've been at this place like all day and stuff, trying to get everything figured out and all that. It wasn't a nightmare, but it was just so time consuming because you find one issue after another. We had ice cold, a bad heat limit switch, leak. Then found the time clock not working properly, smelling funky, had fuses blowing. Trying to do a process of elimination and all that little good stuff. So it just happens at the best. It's so crazy when you go to a store or 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 a home or anything. You go for one particular thing and it's always something. It's always something. You get there, either the customer lets you know something broken or you see something that's broken. And usually when you see something broken, you don't want to screw anybody that's on call and stuff. If you see it, just fix it and stuff. Like earlier today, and I'll probably make a video on this later on. It's just pictures and all that. Where I just came just to replace like fan motors and stuff. And I was just looking around and stuff, and I seen this yellow spot, and it was dripping oil and stuff. And it's from the suction housing, where they put the filters. You know how when the store first opened, they put filters in there, and they usually let that stuff run about like a few months to a year maybe, just to have the stuff, the vapor or liquid refrigerant, cleaned up after a new install and all of that. And then after a year or so, they usually take those out, or they take that whole section out and just weld it up. But anywho, it didn't have a filter in there. That's a good sign. But anyway, the gasket on there was pretty messed up. It wasn't messed up, but it just had a dent. And luckily, I was able to find a gasket and put it on there. But that'd be like a whole nother video. But anyway, I fixed the leak, got it sorted, added gas to the rack. So it's just little stuff like that, and it's always something. Like I had so many videos before, like where I just go to a store, like I said, for one simple thing, and I'll probably see oil all over the floor, maybe something leaking or hissing. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be pretty much it. Stay tuned. Let me know if y'all enjoyed this video. Just me talking and all that, and just giving my commentary over the pictures. Like I said, I usually have pictures either for backup or just to show the customer and all that. So the photos y'all see, the customer usually see. When I let them know what I found and stuff, or when I went through, I just normally let them know and all. So this is just commentary and all that. It's not video or anything. Um, I can't make videos, but pictures be fine. I had to take pictures regardless anyway. I mean, I do the work, take the pictures, for proof and all that. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts down below, and I can give y'all like good context on about the calls, and then I can give y'all some tips. But anyway, if you see an iced up coil and all that, don't panic and all that. It's either a defrost or refrigeration issue. Do a process of elimination. See if you got heat limits. See if your heater's gone and all that. So anyway, that's going to be pretty much it. I see y'all. Peace.